Hi, good afternoon, and welcome to my afternoon of not giving a hair fuck. Evidently, you can see this, not giving a fuck. Right, how are you? How has your day been? Hope you've had an epic one. Give me a hashtag live if you are here live, and give me a hashtag replay if you're catching me later on today. Hi Vic, how are you? Sorry, that was quite overfamiliar. Hi Vicky, I'll call you Vicky. Um, so yeah, hope you've had a good day. I've had a good old day today. That is Archie playing his cornet in the background. Yes, you can hear it. So if if there was ever a day of FML, today is the day, and I'll explain that. Parky! Oh, Parky, what a ledge. Um, so yes, I'm just back from my smear test, which is probably too much information. Sorry, not sorry. Everybody, if you've not had yours for your 3 years, get booked in. However, I have been informed there's a 10-week wait time on results, so not so good, but better than having to wait another 10 weeks for the appointment and then 10 weeks for your results. So yeah, just come rushing back from that. Came in, Archie's practicing his cornet, and the dog came in. The dog is sitting right here. Eddie, can you put your head up? Eddie, come on. There we go, Eddie. That's Eddie's snout. He came in, sat down, and farted. Sat himself down and just farted, right? I was just like, for fuck's sake. I mean, really? Come on. Like, you would think having one child and one dog and two cats would actually be quite easy to manage, but no. These things stress us out. Anyway, you're not here for my family nonsense. You are here to find out the top three fat loss friendly foods. Fat loss friendly foods. I think that's what we called it, wasn't it? What was it? Top three foods for hormonal health for fat loss. I think that was a snappily called title, don't we all agree? That was it. And after I've done this, I am going to share with you the winners of the Sleep Queen Challenge. And I fully commiserate, there was a few ladies, I'm with you in this, who have normally all right sleep, who were really looking forward to optimizing their sleep this week, and then for some unknown reasons, sleep has evaded them. I have been in the same boat this week. Like, normally my sleep is pretty good, regime's pretty good, setup's pretty good, my patterns are pretty good, and then this past week's been shit. There was one night I was lying awake reading a book, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was reading a book about Lance Armstrong. I am slightly obsessed for some reason, slightly obsessed by the Tour de France just now. Get no other interest in cycling other than I'm just a little bit obsessed with the Tour de France. Don't know why. While everybody else is digging into Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, I'm researching Tour de France and doping scandals. Don't know. Anyway, right, so let's chat about the top three foods for hormonal health. So I don't want to overassume, but I am going to guess that most of you have come to this expecting me to have my magic wand and a list of three superfoods that are going to magically just melt fat off your belly. And I will get to that in a minute. But we want to talk about what is happening in our bodies, right? So I'm not going to dig in too much about hormone changes and metabolic changes just now, because I've done that already. If you want to know more, go back into the guides section of the masterclasses. There's loads in there. But basically what is happening just now from age 38, 39, all the way up to kind of mid to late 50s, our hormones are changing, and that is mostly our reproductive hormones. So estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, these are all changing, and that causes changes in our body. So it changes our fat distribution patterns for one thing. So hence why a lot of women coming into their 40s might find that they're getting a bit of a belly. It's often called the menal middle. I go through stages of loving that phrase and hating that phrase, so I don't actually know where I sit, but it's really, really common that women get into their 40s and they gain this gut that they've never had before, and that is because of the hormonal changes changing where we store fat. Okay. The other thing that happens at the same time is our metabolism is slowing down. So your metabolism is simply the rate at which you burn fat, the amount of energy you use. Now that slows down, which means that you're not you don't need as much energy in, aka food, as what you did 10 years ago, or when you were 25, or when you were 5. And it gets lower and lower and lower as we get older and older and older. So simply said, that is where you store fat changes. Absolutely. I'm going to close this door, sorry. That's not really helped matters. It's not really helped matters. Right, anyway, so where we store fat changes, but also the ability to lose fat, it gets harder. It means we're going to gain weight easier, and it's harder to lose fat unless we make some changes to our nutrition. So basically, you need to eat less calories than you did. That's all it is. But the unfortunate thing is that we're all looking for a magic pill. We're all looking for a magic wand. We're all looking for that magical quick fix that's going to solve it all. And unfortunately, it's not as sexy as that. You know, it's simpler than you might think, but it's not as sexy. Lisa, no, it's not a trumpet. It's a cornet, not a cornetto, as I keep thinking. He goes, oh, we'll play your cornetto. And he's like, no, mommy, it's a cornet. I am not the musical person in this household at all. My husband is very musical, plays saxophone and guitar, and he is exceptionally good, very skilled. I approach music much like I approach weightlifting, like pick it up and slam it back down again. It's fine. Anyway, right, so we all want the magic wand, magic pill, magic solution, and we want it the sexy, quick way, and that's not what we're going to get. We need to look underneath the sexy and shiny, and look at the things that actually just work, all right? Because sexy is amazing, and people waste millions of pounds every single year, not individual people, like as an industry, people spend millions of pounds on the weight loss injections, on wraps, on crazy diets, on crazy detoxes, on gastric surgery, on hypnotherapy, you know. Yeah, people spend millions of pounds on this, and none of those things are the one. None of those things are the one. So we have to look at this. I want you to look at this as 3 different levels, okay? And this is levels of health, ultimately, not levels of fat loss, levels of health. So if you think of level 1 of health as fundamental behavior change that is going to help achieve the correct energy balance, so calories in, calories out, and improved food quality, as well as moving our bodies just at a very basic level and improving our sleep habits. Just those things. So they are not sexy. They are common sense, behavior change, energy balance, calories in, calories out, quality of food, basic movement, sleep habits. All of that combined is what is going to give you 80% of your results. 80%. The biggest chunk of that is going to come from better quality food, managing the calorie balance, better sleep, behavior change, and moving your body, right? So when you say it like that, you go, yeah, I know that, but you promised me 3 top foods, right? We'll get to that. Level 2, health level 2. So you've got your 80%. So how do we get it to 100%? So level 2 is looking at physiological changes, so like things, looking at other things that are going to optimize you to get to your goals quicker. So that might be you've got a specific goal to run a marathon, you've got a specific goal to enter a CrossFit competition, you've got a specific goal to be a fitness competitor. So that's where we need to add in additional things, like, so it might be very specific things around exercise. So it might be a focus on HIIT, it might be a focus on bodybuilding, it might be a focus on running, depending on what the goal is. It might be timing of eating. So for somebody that's a cyclist, for example, or training for a marathon, they need to optimize their food timings to make sure that their carbohydrate intake is right for them, okay? But that is level 2. So that is not your base level person. Level 2 is taking that step further. And then we've got level 3, which is what we would call like somebody that is pretty advanced already with their knowledge, with their food and their exercise. So this is like looking at experimental things almost. So there's a big thing in the media just now, in social media, with hot and cold therapy. So cold water swimming, saunas, going back and forth. So that is fairly, there's good feedback, but at the moment it is just very experimental. Looking at different ways of eating, like paleo, keto, bodobo, all these other diets that are very niche. So they're not for general population, they're very niche. If a bodybuilder, for example, has to eat exceptionally high protein, which the normal person like me or you probably couldn't maintain, because quite frankly, nobody needs to eat chicken that much, right? So, but that's only like 5% of results. So I want you to think about where you are, and 99.9% of people in this group are not bodybuilders. They are not trying to run marathons. We've got a few iron women, a few strong women, but most people want to try and achieve that level 1, which is your behavior change, your good quality food, your sleep, your basic movements, and your energy balance. And that's what's going to get the biggest bang for your buck for fat loss. So it's the least sexy. Like, obviously, if I came to you and said, right, ladies, I'm going to give you a keto plan and you're going to drop 10 pounds in a day. That sounds really, really sexy, isn't it? But that's not what is going to be the long-term result. Because, yeah, you could drop 10 pounds in a day. Maybe not 10 pounds in a day. But you could drop, I have seen people lose 10 pounds in 3 days. But that's not a long-term solution, because it's not fat that is dropping on that number in the scales. And most people want to eat crisps at some stage in their life, or they want to eat a sandwich, or they want to eat, or they want a glass of wine. So it's not realistic long-term. But it's sexy because you're getting a big, big result. So if I turn around and say, right, ladies, we're going to introduce habit change. We're going to get your body moving properly. We're going to overhaul your nutrition. We're going to make sure you're getting the right energy balance. And we're going to drop 2 dress sizes in 90 days by doing that. That suddenly doesn't sound as sexy, but it is more effective. Much more effective. Okay. So when we look at all of these things, we have to look at our diet as the biggest game changer, right? Diet is the biggest game changer for health and for fat loss. Okay, so I'm talking about this in two different ways. Now, basically, there's over 200 hormones in your body, brain. 200. That's nuts. Absolutely nuts. So the ones that impact us the most are the ones that I've mentioned: estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, things. So they're your reproductive ones. We've got things like cortisol, stress, insulin, leptin, ghrelin, thyroid. All of these different ones play a big part in our mood, in our bodies, metabolism, fat loss, hunger, I think I said that, reproduction, etc. So we've got all of these things to juggle, and I don't want to say worry about, because nobody really sits and worries about, is my leptin too high today? But these are all things that we can control. We can help be happier in our control through the food that we eat, which is incredible. It's amazing. We have control. This is amazing. So we don't have control over how they decline, because that's just what bodies do, and that's what happens. But we have control over how do we optimize them moving forward, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So there, unfortunately, is not 3 magical foods. Nope. Somebody might come to you and say pomegranates, kale, and eggs. Right, so eggs are pretty much a superfood, and I'll always promote eggs because I love them, and Clara mocks me mercilessly for this. Pomegranate, bit of a faff to eat, quite nice. Kale, hate. Eating trees, absolutely. Probably the only nutritionist in the world that would actively advocate against eating kale, even though I know how good it is for us. But anyway, so there's not 3 specific foods, but there is 3 specific food groups, okay? And I'm going to take you through these. So, thank you, Sarah. Nobody likes kale. It's like, does anybody remember The Simpsons from, oh God, it must be at least 10 years ago. And there was a wee rhyme that was like, we don't make friends with salad. We don't make friends with salad. That's how I feel about kale. Don't make friends with kale. It's wrong. And I have tried it in smoothies. I've tried roasting it. I've tried boiling it. I've tried everything, and it's just not for me. But I love cabbage. Love cabbage. Don't like kale. Right, so these 3 specific food groups that I want you to focus on. Protein. Easy peasy. Most women don't eat enough protein. So, if you're non-veggie or you're non-vegan, so if you are a meat eater, lean animal protein is the way forward. So, white meat over red meat, always. Chicken, fish, tuna, pork, bacon. I had bacon for my lunch today. Do not be afraid to eat your protein. If you're not, I don't know specifically what your numbers would be, obviously, because I don't know you. Well, I know some of you. But for a sizing portion, go with a palm size of protein at every single meal. If you're lifting weights, you maybe need 2. So that's normally equivalent to a chicken breast. You're looking around 100 to 150 grams of protein around your meals, okay? Base your meals around your protein. So when you are doing your food prep, meal planning, whatever, start with your protein. It's easier to do it that way than to go, I'm going to have pasta. Pasta and what? So don't change it around going, I'm going to make lean mince bolognese, pork mince bolognese, and I'll have a bit of pasta. So you're actually thinking, before you've even made it, of how the ratios are going to look. So it's going to be bolognese with pasta. It's not going to be pasta with bolognese. Does that make sense? Just a wee mindset hack. So if you are veggie or vegan, you want to load up on your beans, on your soy protein. This is also very estrogen friendly. Soy is very estrogen friendly. So getting your protein in is super important because A, it's helping protect and repair your muscles and grow your muscles. So if you're lifting weights, it's the protein that's going to help repair those muscles so they grow. You're growing lean muscle. The more muscle you're growing, the more fat you're burning because your body needs more energy to grow and repair that muscle. So whilst it's burning fat while growing muscle, it's good. Okay, so have your protein. Protein at every meal. Make it a non-negotiable. I realise I feel like a bit of a teacher right now because I've got my magic wand, but I feel that this topic deserves a magic wand. So yes, protein, very, very good. We need it. Fat. Again, most women are scared of fat or don't eat enough fat. This comes from many different reasons, but one of the big reasons that I see with our ladies, so the kind of plus 40 crew, is slimming clubs. Our mothers' slimming clubs. Now, I understand completely why the whole notion of reduced fat is so popular and has been so popular because a gram of fat has double the calories of a gram of protein or carbs. So fat is really quite calorific in comparison to everything else, which means the volume of what you eat needs to be less. But because we've stripped out all the fats in our diet, it puts everything off kilter. So we need fat. Our brain needs fat to function properly. Our hormones need fat to function properly. It's just a mandatory part of life. It is. And by fat, I don't mean, melting a giant bar of dairy milk and pouring it over your head. That's not what I mean. I don't mean like going to Greg's and scooping up the fat at the bottom of the bag of the sausage rolls. I'm talking about things like that have got good quantities of omega-3, like you've got your salmon, your fish. Even taking a fish oil can be really beneficial, so omega-3 for the one. But also things like your nuts, olives, avocado, chia seeds, etc., etc. These are all really good wins to get. They're going to help stabilize your hunger hormones. So protein also helps us feel fuller for longer, but fats help regulate those hormones that tell us when we're hungry and tell us when we're full. Okay, so make sure you're not skimping on your fats. And very often we get a good number of clients who have worked with other online coaches who do, on face value, do very similar things to us. They work with professional women to help them drop multiple dress sizes. No, these ones I'm thinking about don't generally work with, they don't niche into women over 40. And they've come to us with a really, really low They cut their carbs, keep cutting carbs, keep cutting the carbs. Nothing works. But in actual fact, it's nothing to do with the carbs. It's to do with the fats and the proteins. Anyway, that's by the by. So yeah, they're going to help stabilize your hunger hormones, which is that whole, you hear me talking about hunger switch deactivation. There you go. That's one of the ways that we work with our clients on switching off their hunger switch. Switch off. And also you'll find that a lot of these fats are really quite good for vitamin D as well, even though we need most of our vitamin D from the ball of sun that we can't see in Scotland, or your supplements. And also helps with our testosterone as well. Now that testosterone isn't a hormone that's talked about a lot with women. If you follow any of the menopause people, it is talked about, but maybe not as much. But it is quite an important hormone for women, so it's definitely worth looking at your fat content. And as Sarah says here, life without cheese is crap. It is absolutely shockingly crap. And the third food group is carbs. Carbohydrates. They are not the devil. They do not make you fat. Carbs are good. It's your body's preferred source of energy. So you might find if you've ever cut carbs, you maybe get day 3, day 4, day 5, and you're just zapped, and that is because your body is not running on the fuel that it wants to run off. So let's not avoid carbs. But when I'm talking about carbs, we need to talk, like, carbs aren't just rice, potatoes, and bread and pasta. All your fruit and veg are carbs. So I never want anybody to feel that they have to cut out fruit and veg out their diet to lose weight. I mean, really, that's nonsensical. Doesn't make any sense to me. So veggies are carbs. Bulk up with your carbs using them, but don't shy away from potatoes. Potatoes are tatties for us Scottish people. Potatoes as a food are one of the best foods for keeping you fuller for longer. Just white potatoes. Don't need to bother with sweet potatoes. Just your humble tatty. Humble tatty. Rice is also a really good option. White rice. Sorry, 2 seconds. I'd lock the dog in the room. Right, there you go. You obviously don't want to be here. Or now you're staying here now. You're staying here. So looking at your veggies, cruciferous veggies, so leafy green veg like kale, unfortunately, but broccoli, sprouts, cauliflower, cabbage, all of these things can be really, really beneficial for hormone health as well. So don't shy away from your carbs, but especially don't shy away from your veggies. You're looking for your veggie portions. You're looking for 5 portions of fruit and veg a day, and a portion is about 80 grams, which is more than you think. So go, next time you're in the kitchen, just weigh out a portion of veg at 80 grams. That's your portion size. So a pack of green beans, I'm having green beans tonight, so a pack of green beans is 200 grams. So that's only 2 and a bit portions, but most people would use that for a family of 4. So just be very mindful of your portion sizes for your fruit and veg. So yeah, that's it. That's your 3 food groups to focus on. And that does mean that there is scope in there for, if you're getting the majority of your food from your protein, carbs and fats, you're going to want to have crisps. Absolutely. Have a packet of crisps now and then. You want to have a bar of chocolate? Have a bar of chocolate now and then. Having a glass of wine now and then. Brilliant. Just be aware that it does impact your sleep so much. So yeah, that is your 3 top foods for fat loss in your 40s. Easy. Easy when you know how. So get to it. Get to it. So remember, your hand portion for your protein is about a palm size. Now, maybe not my palms because they are freaking tiny. But thickness as well, it's normally a fillet of fish. It's normally a portion of chicken. Mince, probably like a good handful. But think kind of 120 to 150 grams for your protein. 5 portions of fruit and veg every single day. Potatoes don't count as veg. I had this argument with my child not that long ago. With kids, that's actually a good question, Helen. With kids, it's their hand sizes. So you could go with, like, it's actually quite a good way of getting the kids involved as well. Like a cooked portion for a kid would be 2 of their hands, like 2 handfuls for them. So you can try that with the kids, get them to dig the bowl of cooked peas, 2 handfuls as a portion for them. I don't know what that would equate to as weighing. And that's actually quite interesting because I'm doing a lot of thinking about future courses, and one of them is family health, including kids nutrition and exercise. So good. So yeah, and also with the kids, it's still the palm-sized bit of protein as well. Sorry, my glasses are bogging. Has that helped? I know, unfortunately, I know you would love for me to go, oh, I want you to eat kale, pomegranate, and sausages, and all of a sudden the weight is just going to fall off. It's not like that, unfortunately. But if you stick to these guidelines, you'll make changes. And if you make, remember, we want to go back to level 1. So behavior changes, calories in, calories out, improve food quality, getting your body moving, and improving your sleep. That's going to get you 80% of your results. Okay? 80% of the results. That's insane. So do that for me, loves. That would be brilliant. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about the sleep winners. The sleep winners. Right, so we had, this was an absolute, I was looking at these numbers and I was just like, holy crap balls, we must have some very lovely, relaxed people. So we have 2 winners, 2 prizes to give out. Both are receiving the same, well, I've not actually ordered the stuff yet, so, but they're most likely going to be receiving the same kit. Now, we had a winner of the best average sleep across the course of the week. And the winner, this is mental, the winner averaged 8 hours, 52 minutes a night. 8 hours, 52 minutes a night of sleep over a week. Insane! The second place averaged 8.5 hours sleep a night. Insane! Anyway, so your second place is Samantha Lawrenson. Well done, girl. And your winner with 8 hours 50 minutes is Joanne Pitts. Oh my god, Joanne, you must be the most rested, calm, zen lady we know. Well done, well done. And the winner of the most improved sleep. Now, this was quite a hard one to do because I got 5 nominations with varying levels of information. But I've chosen this person because they've worked really hard on their sleep this past week, really, really hard. And they've followed all the guidance that we've given them. They've recognised in advance that they have challenges with anxiety, with children not sleeping, etc., etc. So, but they've not used that as an excuse. They have still tried to do their best. And the winner is Sarah Berloff. So well done, Sarah Berloff. So basically, just to give you an idea, she's managed 5 nights of over 7 hours and 4 nights over 7.5 hours. Now, this is coming from someone who was struggling to get 5 to 6 hours solid sleep a night. So that change in itself is doing her health more good than she will ever know. And I hope she doesn't mind me reading this. I hope you don't mind me reading this, Sarah. But basically, she's falling asleep easier. She's getting a more restful sleep. It's really helping with her anxiety. Just amazing. So well done, young Sarah. Really happy, really happy that you've been able to do that. Chuff for you. Chuff for you both. Jojo Pitts, Sarah Berloff. So well done, ladies. So doing a happy dance. I actually won something today as well, which I never win anything, and I messaged Clara for this. So there's this skincare thing. It's in the Caroline Herons group, and everybody's going on about this. It's called NutriBronze, and it's just this stuff that goes on your face and makes you look bronzed, and it's nice. But it's like 60 odd pound a bottle. And I was like, ah. And all these women were talking about emailing for a sample. I was like, this sounds like something that I would like, but I am not spanking £60 on it unless I know that it's going to make me look 30. So I emailed them and I said, look, hey, everyone in the world is talking about this NutriBrand stuff. Can I have a sample, please? And she would come back and she was like, the founder of the company has just read your email, and what she wants to do is send you a full size something as a thank you, as long as we can use that comment about everybody in the world's talking about this on our website. Is there anything, would you like me to send you the sample of the NutriBronze, and then if you like it you can get a full bottle? And I was like, nope, just send me the full bottle, and if it doesn't work I'll sell it on eBay. So yeah, we've won loads of stuff today. Yay, go us. Yes, Helen, I did see yours. And you can fuel up on kale. You know, you've got all the kale love. Fuel up on kale, keep you going throughout the week. So yeah, well done, and a huge thank you to everybody that participated. I know it was quite a hard one to do because everybody's got different trackers and whatnot. So I really, really am pleased that so many people took part. It was great to see you all. What have we got coming next? So in our academy group tonight, we've got an imposter syndrome workshop with the lovely Tracy Gilmore. We've got Clara and I doing an Ask Us Anything on Friday at 2 o'clock in this group. So if you do have anything at all, please holler. Any questions, it can be smear tests, periods, hormones, fat loss, how to cultivate a spider plant, what books we like, anything at all. Go. And then on Friday in our client group, I'm doing an emotional eating strategies workshop. I might do a wee prize actually for that for somebody and get into the workshop. Anyway, let me dwell on that. Tomorrow, offer post coming out. Check that first thing in the morning. I think it's going to be quite popular, so check that out. And I think we're done. So have an amazing evening, ladies. Thank you for joining us tonight. Speak to you soon. All right. Take care. Bye.